Hi guys, thank you very much for clicking on the YouTube clip today. This is my first review on my new idea, which is a blog to do 2 film reviews a week. One through this way of doing it, YouTube, and another way through writing it. So my blog is www.bigscreensmallscreen.weebly.com. I'll be doing other things apart from film reviews, such as upcoming film events, must-see films, even progress on my own film that I'll be doing over the next 6 months. I will be posting on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, so please keep in the loop, please keep involved. Okay, so the film that I'm doing today is Logan, which in hindsight probably wasn't the best film to be enthralling a wide audience with, because I appreciate not everybody is an X-Men fan and not everyone is indeed like me. So for those of you that don't know, Logan is Wolverine, aka James Howlett, but no one calls him James Howlett, it's just not cool enough. Those of you also don't know, but you really should know, Wolverine's the guy with the claws. The last chapter of the X-Men films, both chronologically and in general. I don't think they're going to do any prequels or anything to this. A superhero movie, but also kind of a hybrid of other genres. We have sci-fi-esque, we have road movie, very western feel to it, a very Clint Eastwood feel to it. It's, you know, rustic, run down, rugged, stripped back, gritty, everything that basically I think Logan embodies in this film. It's set in 2029, mutants are extinct, mutants are people with superpowers. And Logan is working in Texas as a limousine chauffeur. His healing powers, because he used to pop out bullets, is now becoming faulty. He's basically an alcoholic, aging more dramatically. His only purpose really now is to get these pills off the black market, these drugs off the black market, to give to Professor Xavier. Put that aside for a second. Xavier is played by Patrick Stewart in this film, who in the previous films was the founder and main teacher of the Xavier School of Mutants, something. Its prior purpose was to raise young mutants into using their powers effectively and becoming good people. Now, back to what I was saying before, these pills that he has to take now are because he's suffering from what's called a neurodegenerative disease. It's said to be the most dangerous mind in the world to be suffering from this illness. He's basically living in a fallen down smelting tank, and the only other life in his smelting tank, apart from him, are these plants that he grows. There's one scene where he's trimming them and watering them and cutting them, which is, I think, pretty symbolic of the only purpose he has now as far as growing something. And he says at the beginning, you know, to Logan, "You just wish I was dead, you're just waiting for me to die." And there's a really sad, very lifeless opening to the film. When the plot changes is this Mexican lady called Gabriela Lopez, which kind of annoys me because I feel like it's a white person's interpretation of a Latina name. Gabriela Lopez basically reaches out to Logan and says, I'm not going to do the accent, says, "You've got to look after my girl. She's like 12 years old." Played by Daphne Keane, who's awesome in this film. She's got like the best fight scene ever. It's just worth going to see her, to be honest. She's in serious danger. I've saved her from a research facility, part of controlling scientists and just sociopaths that basically are making children artificially through mutant DNA and I guess sperm donor, I don't know, to militarise them and make them into an army later on. You've got to take her to Canada, you've got to get across the border. Logan reluctantly ends up taking this girl with similar powers to him, hint hint hint, and Professor Xavier across the border. So directed by James Mangold, includes Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, who played it brilliantly, Stephen Merchant, who plays Caliban, which is a really interesting casting choice, I think. Tall fella that's like worked with Ricky Gervais, Eddie Abroad extras, etc. Hugh E. Grant, who plays the mad scientist, obviously, because they always have to be English. Daphne Keane, who plays the girl, look out for her, she was really good. And another actor called Boyd Holbrook, who plays one of the sort of Texan villain, Muscle, to the scientist. Very creepy, very intense, very over-friendly. It's very cool. So as far as themes go, it's about family, connection, love, purpose, and in that sense is a very universal story, and that's like why I think anyone would appreciate this film. As far as technical elements go, music was fairly noticeable. I don't think they used many soundtracks at all. The only one that I actually recognised and really noticed was a Johnny Cash song that was played the very end. Cinematography, the lighting of cinematography works so brilliantly and in sync with the set design of this film. Like when you first meet Xavier in this smelting tank with the light coming through, and it's gritty, and he sleeps in a blue sleeping bag. And there was just something really beautiful about that less was more in that scene. And the same with Logan, he's got these ripped curtains, this tiny little pokey flat that he's living in. So you have a really tight knit of characters in this film. You really just have like the three pivotal characters. You know, we have Logan, Xavier and Lauren, the little girl, Lauren. And then literally just a sprinkling of other characters around the plot that just helped to direct the narrative every now and then. In that sense, it was so much more character driven. And there was a beautiful symmetry that came with those three characters of aging and the process of that, and you know, the old and the young, and there's a feeling of hope that came with the end of that film, which I think was really the fundamental reason that this film was so unique to its predecessors. In the last films, we have an ensemble cast, including the likes of Halle Berry, they're all fighting and saving the world together. Okay, so when I went into the cinema, I tried to be really vigilant of what sort of audience this film attracted. Now, out of an audience of about 50, I was, I think, the third girl. I did have an issue because I did actually think one guy was a girl for a very long time until the lights came on and I was like, okay, no, I'm the third, not the fourth. Yeah, it attracts mostly men, although to be honest, I would say, girls, that it is generally a good film and I would recommend it, particularly if you're an X-Men fan. It was incredibly powerful, really hard-hitting, emotional, and so different, and such a good way to end the X-Men films. Totally recommend. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much again for watching and getting this far in the video. I will deliver the next review next week. If you're interested to see what review I've written this week, it's Get Out, a horror film or a social horror film by Jordan Peele, which is on my blog. So I'll leave the link below. Please check it out. Thank you very much. Have a lovely week.